to be able to continuously do good things in golf, you have to have certain things that you always do. Because if you don't brush your teeth every day, eventually you're gonna have to go to the dentist, and then the dentist's gonna freak out, and you're gonna have to have all these things done, right? And I look at golf the same way. So if I don't have those teeth brushing things in my game, eventually I'm gonna come to my coach and I'm gonna say, I'm freaking out, I can't do this. So we have created a system which based it on how I work the best, and then just how can I maintain the same level. It's like either I get better or I get worse. So if I do nothing, I'm gonna get worse. I can't just stay in the same position. So these are the drills that I do to not get worse. I might not put in the effort to get much better, but I do them. These are my toothbrushing drills to stay the same, but I still do them. So it would be, for me, an example is I'm really good at ball starting my putting, but every day, no matter, I don't miss any ball starts in my putting, but every day I always putt 6 putts, because I know that if I stop putting my 6 putts, eventually over time, I'm probably going to start missing in ball starts. So I think it's a small amount of time which gives me a consistency over time. It's a small effort, but I still do it every day, but over time it's helping me maintain what I'm already good at. So it's been a system for me to making sure I don't forget about any parts of the game. Making sure, even though you're good at something, don't forget about it. Just make sure you do the little things. I think the biggest thing when I look at my plan is always make sure I'm getting all the parts of the game in, if not in a day, throughout the week. It's like, okay, when I do my putting, I'm making sure I get my ball start in, I'm making sure I get my speed training in, and my read. I'm making sure I don't forget about any of it. When I practice short game, I practice my bump and runs, my pitches, my bunker shot, my flop shots, my rough shots. Just making sure that they're all getting a piece. Because if you start ignoring parts, because it's so much easier to practice things that you're good at than to practice things that needs to be improved. It feels better. So I'm making sure that I put a lot of emphasis on everything, but just making sure everything gets a little bit of time. So because I'm one of these people, I like to practice more than I like to play, but I still need to make sure that I play. So every week I try to make sure, okay, I need to at least play once this week. I might not always be like, oh, great, I have to go play, but I'll do it anyways, because I know over time I can't lose that ability. So when I go back to my cake, I look at things like, how can I create as many good habits to make sure this cake is as full as possible? So a big thing for me, since I live abroad, I've been away from my family for 10.5 years, okay? If my relationship to my family back in Sweden gets bad, then everything else is gonna get bad. So I make sure I might not call them every week, but I try to have a habit of calling everyone once a week. Making sure to call them. I have grandparents on my mom's side and mom and dad. So making sure that I fill in those, it might only be for 5 minutes, but just making sure I have a routine of keeping that cake steady. In working out, like on tour, I see a physio, a massage therapist. I see her 2 or 3 times a week, just making sure that my body is good and stable enough so I can put the load in both practice and tournaments that I want to do. Just making sure that I just don't ignore it, so that piece of the cake will just go, ugh, and then I have to fill it up again, because then I know it's going to need some proper effort. So if something takes, right now, let's say I would stop doing my ball start and my putting right now. 6 balls now might take me 5 minutes. Let's say I would stop that. Maybe eventually then I would have to start putting an hour into it, which means that hour is coming from somewhere else. So I will have to, if I don't do these little things all the time, I'm going to have to start adding up time, which is going to take time of a time that doesn't exist. So for me, having those good habits makes me being able to put effort into an area where I really want to get better, or an area that is really important to me right then and there.